What's up, people? This is Alexander. Obviously, conversation to have right now. So, you guys hear me all the time always talk about mentality equals physicality, physicality equals mentality, mentality equals physicality. I talked about that a lot. I was writing a chapter in a book I'm working on this morning, some of which I posted on Twitter, obviously, that's why those tweets popped up regarding that. But they make a powerful point. I'm restating my own point in this case, where those of you who, a lot of you guys message me all the time. I get messages all the time. What's up, Alexander? You're trying to change things about yourself. What's the way to start? Where do you start? How do you go about doing that? You have to start with the body. You start with the body because the body is the most directly affectable thing you have control over in your life. Your health is what you have 100% total power over. If you're going through self-doubt, if you're going through self-pity, if you're going through uncertainty and you want to prove to yourself that you can change something, where do you start? You start with your own physical form. You could, so today's what? Today's Monday? You could start Monday right now. You could drop down, you can do 3 sets of push-ups to failure. You do that every day for a week. A week from now, you will be capable of more push-ups than you were today. So you can change what you are capable of in 7 days, in a week. You can get stronger in 7 days. You can build muscle, you could argue, in 7 days. You can prove to yourself that you can do something, and all it took was 7 days of work that probably constituted maybe not even 30 minutes of actual effort. Doing one thing, 3 sets of it, to failure. Each time you went to failure, you got a little bit farther than you did before. That's how you start proving to yourself that you're a capable human being. That's how it starts. Yeah, one thing as a personal trainer I realized very early on is that there's a lot of transformations. There's a lot of transformations of personality that happen in personal training that you're not really supposed to talk about because you're a personal trainer. It's outside your domain. So you're an expert on the body. You're not an expert in anything else. You're not allowed to talk about the psychological. But the psychological, that's where the power is. The psychological is what people come to you in the first place. The psychological is what people really want to affect. No one comes to you because they're unhappy with their body. They're unhappy with their body because it's made them unhappy with the rest of their life. Your physical form, your health, your physique, it is directly manifest representative. It is how you think and how you live. And that always amazed me because you could take something as simple as push-ups. You could take something as simple as doing chest presses. You could have a guy or a girl lie down on a bench, start having to do chest presses. And this doubt, this insecurity, this vagueness, this uncertainty, it all rises up. Their life is obscure to them. But you're telling them that by focusing their energy onto one thing, by being monofocused, by having some self-belief, by applying their mind power to something, oh, you can do it. Oh, I can push back against the things that push down on me. I am capable. I am strong. I have potential. And you start to change. You get your hands a little bit stronger sometime, and then somehow getting your hands stronger in the gym, what your hands are capable of in your whole life, that changes a little bit. When you can breathe better and speak better, and you're not so tired, suddenly you have a bit more energy to put towards other areas of your life. What will come from that? I don't know, but energy is a useful thing to have. So, again, possibility, it exists. Possibility always exists. The unknown is where the promise lies. That's why physicality is mentality. That's why your mentality is your physicality. These two things are constantly creating each other. That's why we have an ideal of what a hero looks like. A hero is physically fit. Why? Because the way he lives and who he is and what his body is and what he looks like, they're all the same thing. They are in alignment with each other. That's why we idolize that. That's why it's an ideal in the first place. We don't idolize a person who is somehow mentally powerful but physically dilapidated. It's like a villain. That's like the fat, evil villain. The slovenly villain. That's like the Jabba the Hutt creature. The person that's, the character that's greedy, that's manipulative, that's malevolent, and they're corpulent. That's a villain to us. That's not a hero. In the same fashion, the person that is only about their physical shell and nothing else, well, that's also something that we, don't idolize. Maybe not a villain, but certainly not a person that's looked up to. It's one of the problems with modern bodybuilding. It's all about the image and nothing about the self. But to wrap this up with the questions of where do you begin with all this, you guys have to do something physical. I don't care what it is, something physical. If that's going for a walk, go for a walk. If that's going to do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, go sign for BJJ. If that's boxing, then it's boxing. If that's, in the gym working out, lifting weights, then it's lifting weights. It has to be something physical, tactile. Because that's what's going to give you immediate, in the moment, instantaneous feedback that you are doing something for yourself. If you lack the belief in yourself and you want to create it, start doing something for yourself. And what's the easiest way to do that? The body. Ballet? No, I don't recommend ballet ever to people. Ballet is a singular obsession that requires your whole soul, and it will consume everything that you are. It is not something that is done casually, at all. So no, I don't suggest ballet is a thing for people to go do. People that are ballet dancers, that is their identity, that is who they are, that is who I am. That starts when they're young, and it becomes you, and it is you. That's not a thing that you do as a hobby. Any questions, people? Hopefully that all made sense. You have until I get to Walmart. This is Q&A time. It's going well. What's your plan for the Patreon platform? When I get to 1,000 patrons, I'm going to have a full series video course produced on mentality, physicality that will cover all the subjects I always talk about in depth. It'll be a 10-part series. And I have a videographer for that, but I want to have the patronage and essentially the audience for it. Pain is a paradox where you're stagnated and feel like, well, everything in life is paradoxical. Pain can kill you, it can create you. Pain can make you, it can destroy you. You can use it, you can be used by it. It goes both ways. As I say often, you choose your reality. You choose your reality, your beliefs create your reality, and then your reality creates you. All you imagine is your imagination. That's a good way of saying it. If I need to take a break from lifting weights, how long is ideal? I mean, it depends on how you've been training. You could take a week off, do a deload, not do anything for a week. Try that. Reviewing some of your older podcasts are great. Yeah, the older podcasts are pretty rough, especially the very beginning ones. I literally record those on my laptop. They were horribly produced. The newer ones are better, obviously. I actually got a microphone. I'm getting back to the gym today. Good. What's your take on homosexuality? Fuck whomever you want to fuck. I don't care. So long as it's not kids or animals, then you're just a sick, perverted fuck. But yeah, that's my stance, I guess. Should I isolate single muscle groups per day or do multiple? That depends. Both ways can work. Sometimes for beginners, following a muscle split can work better because you can learn how to lift properly, kind of one muscle at a time. Sometimes for beginners, doing compound movements works better because learning the big movements is a way to start, and maybe you're able to do them safely and competently. So that really varies, honestly. There's not really a best way to go about that. That depends upon the person. I've done both. I've had clients where I've trained them total body, and then I've had clients where we do 2 or 3 muscle groups at a time. I've done mixes thereof where it's semi-total body, but then we emphasize one group of parts or one movement pattern more than the others. There's also movement-based splits where push-pull, squat, push-pull, squat, deadlift kind of splits. So yeah, that's what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different ways of training. They all work. Fundamentally speaking, how do you know you're fit? You're able to do the foundational patterns of movement competently. You can do them across a variety of implements. You have mastered the art of moving yourself, which is your body weight in quotes. And if you do that, then you should be physically fit and healthy. If you can't do that, and you're not getting stronger, and you're not muscular, and you're not fast, and you're not lean, then your training is not working. And or your diet is counterproductive, or both. The 70s program is brutal. Yeah, that's a high freaking volume program. You got to make sure you eat enough doing that. I've had a couple of people where they did that and it was just too much volume. It just left them completely gassed. But I mean, I said that in the program. This is not minimalist routine. Combination rest in between workouts. That depends. Muscle groups. You could train the same muscle every day, really, if you want to. If you trained at a low intensity. Typically speaking, if you're training at moderate to high intensity, you're going to want to not train the muscle more than twice a week. Once you start training a muscle group more than twice a week, the benefits kind of, well, they don't disappear, but the dose response curve kind of levels out. Is damage done if you lacked a father figure in childhood's teens? Can you see in early 20s? Well, I don't know if you could call it damage. If you want to think of it that way, you could say that you're damaged, sure. But the issue is that you don't have a model of how to be a man. That's why a lack of a father figure is so devastating. You don't know how to be a man as a man. If you're a young woman, you don't know how to establish a proper relationship with masculinity and be loved by a man. So it fucks up both sexes pretty dramatically. Can you fix that? Yeah, you can, but you're gonna have to be proactive in doing so. For a lot of people, they probably end up in therapy today because they realize, like, oh wow, not having a father figure really did fuck me up, or not having a mother really fucked me up, or my father running out on me really fucked me up. How to deal with low energy negative people? Cut them the fuck out. You deal with them by not having to deal with them. If you must deal with them very minimally. Why isn't this opening? There we go. How much has it affected the way you are in relationships? Well, I have a very good relationship with both my mother and father. They're still together after many years. They've been married 35 years, so I've not struggled with certain things I guess most people have struggled with. Something about deadlifts posture. Your posture is dependent upon the muscular development of your entire spine, top to bottom. It's not just deadlifts. It's your upper traps, middle traps, lower traps, rhomboids, trapezius, the whole length of it. Teres major and minor, your lats. It's your entire spine, and it's your glutes, and it's your hamstrings, and it's your feet and ankles, in fact. So if your whole posterior chain of your body is weak, basically if your the whole back of your body is weak, your posture will suck. And having bad posture is essentially emblematic. Having bad posture is manifestation of not moving that much in life, being physically inactive, and subsequently gravity is pulling you straight down. That's why people slouch. So if you want to defy gravity, you have to be muscular. You have to be muscular and be strong. You have to reinforce the whole spine, top to bottom, and also the front. Lack of father can be good or bad. No, lack of father is always bad. There's no such thing. It is good that I lacked a father. Unless your father was a piece of shit, in which case, well, now you got fucked up by a bad man. Train calves separately. It depends. I conceptualize training calves as training your feet and ankles. Most of you guys have very weak feet. Your feet lack tactile sensation. Your foot muscles are weak. That's why you can't run for shit nor sprint for shit, and that's why you can't move well. They're not properly innervated. So you could train calves as a separate muscle. As I said, I think of training calves as you're training your feet, ankles, calves together. Damn, these icebreakers are good. Anything else, people, before I head out? My fave form? I like pushing the prowler, but the majority of my cardio is from doing ballet. What size shirt do you wear? Extra large. Any more work and danger in play? I don't know. Cernovich just relaunched Cernovich.com, so I'll have to talk to him. What is your best program to start with? Foundations training program. It's literally called the Foundations program. I'll send out an email about tonight. I forget that I wrote that whole program, but it's a grouping of programs. It's not just a program. It's like, how many programs are in that thing? I think there's 12 different programs in that. Yeah, I think so. Anyway, what's a good exercise for round shoulders? Well, your shoulders are like 7 different muscles, honestly, so there's multiple exercises you have to do. Pressing delt raises, rear delt rows, your upper back in general. How do I strength condition? I think you need foundational knowledge. That's not even really a question. Push-pull workout plan, any good? It can be. You improve your posture by restoring your relationship with gravity. How did you develop all these programs? I've trained clients for 9 years and have quite literally, I have legitimately trained over 10,000 training sessions. So, I know my shit works, to say it mildly. All right, good talk, guys. Adios. Talk to you all again. How to get off the small amount of belly fat? You have to fucking diet because you eat too much and your diet shit. Learn how diet works, calories, macros, all that jazz. Adios.